Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this week's ConnectALL Tech webinar. My name is Jonathan McGowan, and I'm a Senior Solutions Architect with the ConnectALL team. And I'm happy to walk through another example of ConnectALL operating within your value stream this week. So if you missed our series, we just finished up a 7-part series about value stream management and how ConnectALL, as a value stream management platform, can work through all the different parts of the value stream and how it meets many of the qualifications of value stream management. Things like orchestration and governance and automation and metrics and all those sorts of things. Now, this week we're going to kind of go back and talk a little bit about a very specific use case, and it's a use case that we see a lot, where we're actually going to talk about request fulfillment. So, if you're familiar with applications, with ITSM applications like ServiceNow and Jira, then you may be very familiar with the incident management path, or the incident management type of integration, where an incident comes in and we need to escalate that incident from an application like ServiceNow over to a development team in Jira. What we're going to do is take another look at another type of use case where, similar to incident management, we have a service catalog in something like ServiceNow. It's one of the many great features about ServiceNow is having an entire catalog worth of items that you can choose from, and you can add in, choose exactly what you want in that catalog. Let's say that we're ordering a new server, we're ordering a new VM, perhaps, or even if we're ordering hardware like a new laptop, a new phone for our sales team, things like that. We have a big catalog full of all those sorts of items that we can request in ServiceNow. So what we're going to talk about today is how we can take those items and take those requests and uh, uh, escalate them over to another team. So let's say, very similar to our other cases where we have a backlog full of requests in ServiceNow, but we have another team who is responsible for fulfilling some of them. And in this case, we'll show that that team is working in Jira today. And we're going to show how we can how we can cut out the gap between those two teams. Then whenever new requests come into ServiceNow, if they meet certain criteria, they can be synchronized over to Jira. And then the team in Jira can begin fulfilling those, and we can have updates flow back to ServiceNow so that the original requester is kept up to date regarding the status of their request. So with that, let's go ahead, and I'm going to jump right into our demonstration here. And if I can share my screen down here, let's pop over to ConnectALL now. And you can see here is an example of a value stream using ConnectALL. And you can see that I've got many different applications mapped here. We've got applications all the way from work intake and in our requirements management, and then we've got work intake from other areas as well on the other side of the spectrum, over here on the right, meaning incidents and requests coming from ServiceNow. And what we're going to show is just this one example of how we can take these requests from ServiceNow and move them over here into Jira. So let's go ahead now and jump into ServiceNow, and we're going to say, all right, I need to order a new iPad for somebody out in the field who is who's basically taking requests out there in the field. They may be taking mobile orders, they may be tracking notes, whatever it is that they're out there in the field doing. They need, our company policy is each of those folks out in the field should have an iPad to track all their stuff. So let's come in here and choose an iPad 3. I'm just going to quickly just pick that from my catalog, and we can see that I've got a new request here, and I'm going to say order this now. And now this isn't actually ordering it from Apple themselves, of course. This is submitting it right here within ServiceNow. This is coming from my ServiceNow catalog, and it's going to be submitted into my request backlog in ServiceNow. And so now I've got an actual request here. We drill down into this a bit more. It looks like another ServiceNow issue. We can see that we've got a few details here about the request, and we can even drill down a little bit further. We can actually see the item itself that was requested. Now this item has several properties associated with it, of course. your iPad may be white, it may be black, it may be gray, it may have different hard drive spaces on it or hard drive options available. Um, you know, some tablets can use mobile data, some have to use Wi-Fi. We can get all sorts of different options there, and so this is the specific one that I've chosen. It's just a common one that we've chosen, and we need to get this request item over to Jira now. And so let's actually go back over to ConnectALL, and it should have gone over by now. Let's take a look. Yep, we can see there, I've got some activity there on my ConnectALL dashboard. We can see that it created a new issue over in Jira. So let's go over to Jira now, and I'm gonna refresh my backlog over here. You should see that we've got a new iPad request in review. That's where I had it land after submitting that. And we can see a few of those details from ServiceNow. And so now my team in Jira has some of this information that they need so they can begin fulfilling this iPad order. We can, of course, see the type of item that was requested up here, Apple iPad 3. We can look down here and we can get a reference number. I know where this came from and I know how to refer to it if I need to ask somebody some questions about it. I can even see who requested it. I can see their email address. That's synchronized over there from ConnectALL or from ServiceNow. And then we can see when it was opened. All right. So just some nice things there just to kind of see, get some information in here in Jira so that I can begin fulfilling this request, begin working on it. All right, so let's go ahead and say that I've finished reviewing that. I'm going to move that up to in progress. And we should see that move over here on our board. Yep, this 284 just moved over. And let's come back over to ConnectALL this time, and let's see if we can actually see that come over. Now, ConnectALL is operating in the background. ConnectALL is, it operates by polling these two applications. You don't have to install anything in ServiceNow. You don't have to install anything in Jira either. And what you do is you just you set up ConnectALL and you just give it access to ServiceNow and give it access to Jira, and it will pull those tables and synchronize the data accordingly. It does it about once every minute or so. And so it's probably been pretty close to about a minute now since I've made that change. Could either be on the front end or the back end. But if we do want to come in and actually look at it, say, look at this specific integration, we don't feel like waiting another 30 seconds or anything. We can go ahead and click on sync now and we can see that go over much quicker. Right. Now, another part of this too is that, as we're coming in and talking about our value stream, there we go. We can see that that's synchronized just now. But as we're setting up our value stream, what we can do is we can just come up here to our value stream visualizer. And in this visualizer is where we can actually start to map out these different applications within our value stream. And so what we can do is as we're talking to the different teams and organizations, we could say things like, we have these automated test tools. We can drag those automated test tools in there. Maybe we want to pull in something like, let's come down here. I've got a good one actually right up here, maybe. This is one that we showed a few weeks ago. We can actually pull in JUnit over here. And, pull that over here into like our automated testing tool and say something like results. And then I have a new integration that I can start to flesh out there. So it's pretty easy whether you're just talking about integrating different things, whether you want to do it now or whether you want to do it later. You can come in here and just drag them onto this diagram and then begin to map out those different applications and those different parts of those processes. But with that being said, let's go see how that synchronization worked. So we got that notification just a moment ago saying that it updated ServiceNow. Let's come take a look over here. Sure enough, we could see that there was a change right here on the state. That little icon means that this field was changed while we were on this form. And you can see that it actually moved it to work in progress. So originally it was open after I first submitted it, but now I can see that it's actually being fulfilled. I don't have to go talk to anybody in Jira as the requester. I don't have to say, hey, can you get me that item? Can you get me that iPad? What's the current status on it? How long is it going to be? I can just see right here on my original request what the status of that fulfillment is. So now I can see here that somebody is working on it, and I do know that it should be here relatively soon. All right, so with that, that's the demonstration I'd like to show today, just to kind of give you an idea of some other things we can use ConnectALL for. Incident management, software development lifecycle. Those are very popular areas to start, but we can use it for other things too. Really, anything that has a REST API is fair game for us to implement. Fair game for us to automate. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Um, so if you've got other tools out there, other tools other than ServiceNow and Jira, we can definitely work with a wide variety of things, anything that has a REST API, like I mentioned. We can use our universal adapter for a lot of those things as well. But if you've got any questions, feel free to go ahead and type them in the box, and we'll give it just a couple minutes and see if anybody's got any questions about our specific use case today. I do see that one has come up here. Looks like, what about the variables that are on request items? That's a good one. I didn't show those today, but yes, we support the variables as well. So I mentioned earlier that we can do, that you may have different varieties of iPads. You may want a different color on your iPad. You may want a different hard drive space, not hard drive space, but different storage space. Still speaking hard drive like it's 10 years ago. But you may want different storage capacity, 32 or 64 gig, for example. Those are different variables that can exist on a work request item. And yes, we can work with those and absolutely synchronize those over as well. Okay, it looks like we have another question in here. Somebody asking, well, we do our work on the catalog tasks. Okay, do you support catalog tasks as well? And that's another good question. Yes, we do. We can work with the catalog tasks just as well as we can work with the request items. So really, it involves just a small conversation just to see which item you're actually doing the work on, or where you're actually fulfilling those requests. But we've worked with both. We've had customers who have done both. We've had customers who will synchronize the request items, and customers who will send over the catalog tasks instead. And both of those are fairly easy to get in there and implement, just like I was showing there a minute ago. Okay. And what about attachments? Yep. So attachments that could be sent over just as well. Very commonly, folks will attach different things to those requests. Maybe additional detail that's not captured on the form. They want to add that in there. Or a comment as well could be another thing that we could synchronize with that too. So if you have questions about that request, you could type in that question in Jira and have that flow back to the original request in ServiceNow. And that could help the team fulfill those requests. So yeah, that's all about breaking down that barrier and enhancing that collaboration between them. It looks like that's about all the questions that we have for today. All right. Well, if you do come up with any other questions, thank you for attending today's session. Appreciate your time and you spending a little bit of your Friday afternoon with us. But if you do have any questions after today, I know everybody you think about something afterwards. Feel free to email us at sales@connectall.com, and we would be happy to get in touch with you and see how we can help you with your value stream management needs. With that, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.